Hello guys, what's up? I'm Christopher and this is the Xiaomi Mi A2, the successor of the Mi A1 and the leader of the next generation of Xiaomi phones running Android 1. So what has changed and what has been improved? Let's check it out in detail. The Mi A2 was provided to me by GearBest for this review. I got the smallest 32GB model for this test and the link to the shop is down in the video description as usual. The design has been changed significantly and the phone uses a bigger screen, yet it hasn't grown larger thanks to much slimmer chin and forehead bezels. The body's new shape boasts a much more aggressive, sharper frame, which makes the A2 look much slimmer than the Mi A1, yet that's just an illusion because thickness is exactly the same at 7.4mm. Something that I find to be extremely annoying is the camera module, which sticks out the body very much and causes the phone to wobble a lot when placed on a table. On the Mi A1 this was just so much better. The phone's body is crafted from one piece of metal with seamless antenna lines, it's sturdy and looks and feels premium. The 5.99-inch LCD screen operates at a resolution of 2160 by 1080 pixels and offers a good picture quality, rich in contrast. Colors look natural but a tad weak. It would have been nice to have some adjustment options there. Screen brightness only reaches 450 nits, which sometimes can be an issue outdoors, but mostly readability still is good. The touchscreen works absolutely flawless and recognizes up to 10 touches at once. The screen glass has remained scratch-free so far and isn't a fingerprint magnet. With the switch from a Snapdragon 625 to a Snapdragon 660, performance compared to the Mi A1 has been almost doubled. The Mi A2 reaches 130,000 points in Antutu, which obviously results in a buttery smooth user experience that in just very few situations can be distinguished from the performance of some high-end phone. Apps open quick, scrolling always is smooth and system animations never stutter. The fast LPDDR4X RAM with 4GB or 6GB of capacity makes up for great multitasking experience too. Switching between apps is a breeze and there are no loading times even with lots of opened apps, which means the RAM management is not restrictive at all. From past Snapdragon 660 phones I know that this chipset performs pretty well in games and can even keep up quite well with high-end chips. Of course, this isn't any different in the Mi A2. Most games, even more demanding titles, run just perfect on this phone. It's just the very demanding stuff like PUBG for example, where you need to lower the settings a bit to get a buttery smooth performance. So anyone into playing games on a phone will be fine with the Snapdragon 660 and doesn't necessarily have to pick a Snapdragon 845 device. For your personal data you can pick from 32, 64 or 128GB of storage options based on eMMC 5.1 memory. Unfortunately, there is no expansion option anymore since Xiaomi kicked out the microSD slot, so I definitely don't recommend picking the 32GB model that I tested. The Mi A2 packs a whole bunch of different sensors that work fine except for the compass, which had some issues on my unit. It often was off and recalibration only fixed that issue for a short time. But that likely is just some hardware issue because others cannot confirm this problem. The fingerprint scanner on this phone works absolutely reliable and fast enough. Still, it isn't as fast as the unlocking performance Xiaomi phones running MIUI have. Face unlock is not supported. A status LED has been placed above the screen, but it only lights up in white. The infrared blaster found on a lot of Xiaomi devices is present on the Mi A2 as well. The Type-C port on the phone's bottom side is a USB 2.0 port and supports OTG. The Mi A2 lineup is the second generation of Android 1 phones made by Xiaomi. Android 1 is a special stock Android flavor where the updates come directly from Google. Android updates are guaranteed for 2 years and security updates for 3 years. Android Pie has been announced already. When I tested the Mi A2, it was running Android 8.1 with an up-to-date August security patch. The Google Play Store of course comes pre-installed and is Google certified. All important languages are supported as well. Reception quality has been decent with a great mobile performance and support for Band 20 LTE. Unfortunately, there is no global frequency coverage, so people in the US, for example, will have issues. The Wi-Fi packs AC support and reaches a very decent throughput. One floor below the router, it falls back to 2.4 GHz and reaches a speed that is slightly below the average. Still, there have been no signal losses. Bluetooth 5.0 is supported as well, and in my tests covered an entire floor with no issues. The GPS does offer a perfect signal strength and fast fix times. When I tracked a couple of bike rides, there have been no issues and the route was spot on. Also, navigating with Google Maps was working just fine. The media speaker is a single speaker placed in the lower frame. It does sound okay to about 80%, but from there it does distort and just doesn't sound nice anymore. Definitely not the best speaker I have heard from a Xiaomi phone in that price range. The 3.5mm jack has been left out and instead you get the usual Type-C adapter for your old headphones. Telephony quality has been decent in all situations, the earpiece sounds clear and loud and my own voice always appeared clear on the other end. The phone does support active noise cancelling and does a good job filtering out background noise while talking. The cameras look extremely promising on the paper. The main camera boasts a 12 megapixel main sensor and a 20 megapixel secondary sensor. The front camera is a 20 megapixel unit as well and actually uses the same sensor as the main camera. But the camera isn't what I expected after watching the launch event. The first boomer, no optical zoom. This feature was extremely useful on the Mi A1 and set the phone apart from most competitors. So I don't get why they left that out and why they use a secondary 20 megapixel sensor just for the bokeh mode. They would have been fine using a cheaper 5 megapixel sensor for that. Actually, the bokeh mode isn't as good as you would expect it from a 20 megapixel sensor. It often has issues with complex contours and in general the bokeh effect is more of a blur effect. Now when it comes to regular daylight shots, things can look better. Yep, can, because they don't always do. The camera performance is really inconsistent. Sometimes it does awesome shots that don't look like they come from a mid-range phone, but then again it does often very crappy looking shots as well, which are a total failure in terms of dynamic range and amount of detail. And the reason for that once again is software. The automatic ISO adjustment is just crap like on the Mi Max 3. Please Xiaomi, finally update your camera software. When it comes to night shots, the Mi A2 definitely does perform a lot better than the Mi A1. But considering Xiaomi's ads on the launch event, as well as the fact that in Europe the Mi A2 is priced at up to 350 euros, I am also disappointed. Just look at those pictures. They don't look bad, but they don't look great either. There definitely is too much noise, and when viewing pictures on a larger screen, they all tend to look a tad too blurry. What the phone does a great job with though are long exposure shots using manual mode and a tripod. Here the large aperture comes to play and the phone catches a great amount of light with a maximum exposure time of 32 seconds. Results look decent in terms of colors, detail, overall sharpness and brightness. This is where the Mi A2 really can keep up with some of the high-end phones. Another thing the Mi A2 does great are selfies. The 20 megapixel sensor does really sharp and detailed looking pictures, and to my surprise, low light performance ain't too shabby as well. It catches a decent amount of light with minimal noise. There also is a selfie flash, which does a great job getting your face bright enough in full darkness. Videos are recorded in 4K 30fps and Full HD 60fps. The Full HD videos look decent, but 4K does show noticeable artifacts on fast movements and while panning. Autofocus and EIS do work well. The front camera records with a maximum resolution of Full HD at 30fps. The audio quality is very good, but the volume is rather low. 1080p and has a resolution of a whopping 20 megapixels. Battery life is what probably disappointed me the most. Sure, the Mi A series never consisted of battery monsters, but the A1 had a decent battery life, which the Mi A2 unfortunately doesn't even come close to. It just sucks the battery empty in no time when using mobile data, GPS or the camera. When I used the phone rather intense while on the go, it was empty after just half a day. Sadly, with more conservative use, consumption still is pretty high, which you can see on my stats here. For charging, the Mi A2 takes 1.5 hours from 20 to 100%. The power supply is a 5V 2A unit and there is no Quick Charge 3.0 support. Yep, I know that some people claim it does support Quick Charge 3.0, but I can tell for sure that it does not. First, it takes too long to charge. Second, using a Quick Charge 3.0 charger doesn't make charging noticeably faster as with the original 5V 2A charger. And third, when testing voltage using a compatible USB tester, the Quick Charge 3.0 charger never puts out 9V, which is a clear sign for the phone not supporting Quick Charge. And this is where the verdict starts. To be honest with you, I don't really know what to think about this phone. On one hand, it looks and feels like a premium device and offers a great performance at a rather affordable price tag, as long as you import it from China. But at the very same time, this one doesn't touch me at all, due to all those tiny little flaws that under the bottom line sum up to a phone that definitely doesn't live up to its full potential. The fact that the battery life is below average and daylight camera performance, at least right now, is worse than on the Mi A1 makes the decision not to upgrade from the Mi A1 a no-brainer. I sincerely hope that Xiaomi are aware of the issues and are already working for fixes along with Google to make the Mi A2 the great mid-range phone it could be. And with that being said, we reached the end of this review. I was Christopher, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!